Hello and welcome to another video. Now, we're going to talk in general about Path of Exile. Now, in premise, it's going to be about why streamers and content creators of a certain size should be pretty much banned from public leagues and given their own league. I'll explain my thoughts and thinking on that and why it would actually be good for Path of Exile as well. But if you're easily triggered or you're a troll, don't want to hear anything from you, put your money where your mouth is or shut up. Now, onto the video. The premise of this is because the state of the game pretty much, obviously everyone wants to see loot drops, everyone wants to see all this big stuff and one-tapping bosses and all that. Now, why it would be good for content would be because the streamers having their own league and only getting like trade from other streamers, the sort of competitiveness of the content would be increased because the actual items that are got would not be influenced by bots, wouldn't be influenced by any sort of shenanigans or pretty much third-party buying currency to then buy all the streamer items that they're building in their builds, which forces the prices up, which makes that casual player unable to play the build for cheap. Now, the builds that they use would be the same, more or less, because 90% of them within the first week are one-tapping bosses and pretty much gone through all the content, and now they're just trying to find content to create. It would actually probably make their content creating better because they wouldn't have all this ability to get help from chat, other friends, unless they're obviously streamers, but they're still bound by the same sort of rules. They're still stuck without all this shenanigans, bots, all that, helping the market be a little sus. And then any trading and stuff would just be between all of them. The sort of level that I was thinking, about 10,000 subs or 10,000 followers, which makes it in the higher end, which means that's the ones that are going to influence the prices of all the items and everything. And then the normal casual league would be still full of items, full of everything. It wouldn't hurt the actual regular player. The content creators would get the benefit from being able to make more content without running out of it so soon. And it would actually be interesting to see how they actually progress from login to endgame without all the extra help, shenanigans, bots, whatever, that are in the standard public league. Now, the downsides of it would be only that the content creators would have to obviously put more work in. They couldn't get some of the items so easily from either chat, friends, or people that have sort of done it in a sus way, or they're just super grinders, but they're not actual content creators, and they get to endgame quickly, and all the top items end up on the market within a couple of days. So let me know what you think about the premise of them getting their own league. One, would it be beneficial for them? Two, would it be beneficial for the general masses to see how they're doing, it would pretty much be like a uh, league, private league, but GGG run. So it's the same thing, except it's a gated by pretty much invitation only type thing. Once you hit a certain level of, let's say, influence. The downside, let me know what you think some of the downsides would be of them being in a separate league. Because, yes, some of the content creators have guilds, which then they obviously, the guilds can still run on public, but then they can't hang around and sit in the hideout of their favorite streamer or whatever. But then on top of that, they can still interact with the streamer by their stream. So sitting in their hideout or being able to benefit from them doing well and just taking their items sort of helps those people get better at the game, in my opinion. But yeah, so in short, streamers, content creators of a certain level get put in their own league. They're gated in that league. They can't go jump in the normal pool. The benefits would be their content is probably going to be easier to create for the first week or two because they don't have easy access to everything. It would eliminate a lot of the excuse me. It would eliminate a lot of the uh, rubbish in normal trade. Obviously, there'd still be people watching the streams, buying all the items that the streamers use, but the actual ability for people to see how they're going would be the exact same. And it'll be interesting to see how much influence their chat, their friends, their all the bots, all the everything that's in normal leagues actually help them progress as quick as they do. And it would be interesting to see whether they can recreate what they do in a normal league versus their own league. Can they get to endgame and one-tap bosses and get hundreds of divines within the first 2-3 days of Path of Exile 1, and obviously within a week of Path of Exile 2, depending on the content creator. But pretty much Path of Exile 1, a lot of them, within the first 3 days, they've got hundreds of divines. They've already spent like 2 mirrors on their build, equivalent, but they actually got everything cheap because either the market manipulators obviously got to react to what they're doing, so they get the stuff cheap and then everyone else got to pay more, so equivalently they get like 2 mirrors worth for like say 200-300 divines. So it'd be interesting to see what would happen in, say, Path of Exile 1's next league. All the streamers and all that get chucked in their own league. Once they're like 10,000 followers, 10,000 subs, plus they're in their own league. They got to trade with each other, play in with each other. They don't have to interact with each other. They're just in their own league. And it'll be interesting to see what the results are after a week, 2 weeks, because some of them would not be able to recreate what they do in normal league in that sort of league for various reasons, but I won't mention some of them. But the some of them would then have to pretty much find some of these items that come onto the market within the first day or two that they just buy with the currency they earn. They don't actually obviously get it to drop. So yeah, let me know what you think and whether it would be beneficial to the content of Path of Exile and the pluses and minuses that you think would be of that happening. But catch you in the next video, and goodbye.